found it enlightening that I get to meet and study from many cultures of the transgender community and how it has been reacted to in every country and culture. Some have accepted it, and others have secretly or vocally opposed it. They say that there are few individuals around the world in the transgender community. I doubt that is true. The numbers are skewed, as no one really knows how many people are actually transgender. However, as I scour the globe, I keep seeing the number climb higher and higher at an exponential rate. I'm not talking about a few 100,000, maybe even a few million. Quite possible that at least 1 billion people around the globe are genuinely transgender or part of the transgender community. Choke on your food. Spew that Jack Daniels on your friend's face. Have your insert your name.exe is not responding moment. For we are much bigger than what people are telling. So why, you ask, is the number of the transgender community so abysmally low? Shame, fear, ridicule, religious cultures, laws. Listen and listen good. These definitions are not who we are. These definitions define those who use these terms against us. I had to give up my religion. I embraced fear, darkness within me. I mock people with witty and sarcastic comments to undermine their ignorance. I do this with wholehearted enjoyment, seeing haters acting like kindergarten children, crying to their government, church, or some ridiculous made-up idol who has no place in the argument, all because I put a picture of Astolfo on your Avengers poster. I think I could bring up a question that I think we can all agree on, both inside and outside the transgender community. And that question is, why do we exist? I'm not a religious person, but I am very spiritualistic. This is presumed as a test from the Great One himself, or itself, really, to see if we could accept the fact that God has no real form. Like the pilgrims who have settled here at Plymouth Rock, who believe that God loves just as much as he hates. And essentially the devil herself and Jesus himself are nothing but physical reincarnations of his light side and his darkness. So you're telling me that if you're transgender, you hate God? Or maybe the entirety of the LGBTQ community? Because God is essentially neither a he nor a she. nor is she an animal or a human. If you think that physicality defines who you are, I guarantee you that you won't see those golden gates up in purgatory when you enter it. Nor are those seven maidens gonna end up paying attention to you. Sorry for those of you if I spoiled your fantasy of having your high school DxD waifu come up to you and ignore you in the afterlife. At that point in time, you have two options. Either you get it up, yeet it off into my domain of Tartarus, or you spend eternity in limbo, haunting some insane asylum, theater, or that trophy moose that your uncle keeps shooting with BB guns, and saying that you finally killed Rasputin. I think it's about time that religion and politics back seat in interfering with people, the people's lives, and allow these souls of these individuals guide their path of their physical form. The vast majority of the people are well aware and informed enough to accept anyone in the transgender community. But even though there are people out there who are ready to learn about us, I know for a fact that the transgender community has some issues to deal with internally in order to teach in a non-biased way. Like watching a bunch of NASA scientists bickering about a quantum formula or which quantum formula to use in the Hadron Collider to make a stable black hole. The irony here is that NASA are not the scientists that came up with the formula, insinuating that there are people who are not supposed to get involved with our subjects. So now the question becomes, do the people who hate us really hate us because we are different? Or because we are sorry excuse for a bunch of teachers? Lately, it's been looking like the latter. I think it's sad that one individual is at least trying to teach in a non-biased fashion to this gigantic classroom that we call Earth. Transsexuals, crossdressers, gender fluid, non-binary. And what the hell is this list? Or this list? I feel just like my many jobs that I had, I feel like I'm the only one who's actually doing the job that most people are supposed to be doing. And do it well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and re-energize my dark aura before I start daydreaming about singing with Mary Poppins. Get this insanity out of my head. And with that being said, requiescat in pace, my lovelies.